Well, good evening, listeners. We are back, episode 17. I'm going to tell you, Unc, I can remember when it was episode 1. Shout out to one of my college homies, Slim. We call him Slim. Unc, if a dude's named Slim, that sounds like the kind of dude you can't trust, right?
It depends on how far y'all go back. If it's a cat that you just meet, like, today, you may got to feel him out or whatever. But if it's a cat from around the way, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you and my nephew go back, then
yeah.
you all good because you done felt him out. Y'all done went through the trials and tribulations, and here you out on the other side. It's all good now. You know what I mean?
See, that's why we had to get you on. You're a cool dude. But hold on. I got to go back in on that one again. Do
Okay.
you know anybody named Slim and how far you trust that brother?
Ooh, wee, slim. I have to say I don't actually know any cats named Slim that I could think about offhand.
All
But
right.
I'm like kind of like this. I'm a glasses half full kind of brother. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Yes, sir.
us as brothers, man, we have to give each other opportunity, to kind of learn one another, understand one another, build relationships and what have you. And I think that's for us brothers, I think that's one of the best paths forward, man, in terms of, breaking down some of those communications barriers and some of the challenges that we have in kind of interpersonal relationships. So I'm a glasses half full kind of cat. Give a brother an opportunity, you know what I mean? And hey, screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. You know what I mean? So
We see that. We see that. Look at you. Look. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's that's why you in my life.
right,
You
right,
my
yep,
uncle. We don't get to that. You ain't my uncle, but I was like, yeah, this dude, we got to get this dude. So let's get into it.
yep,
Appreciate everybody listening and like, subscribe, share us across your platforms. So we have a man who is called uncle by people who ate blood. Now that's respectful. Um, it might be a little annoying for him because he's like, well, hold on, man, I can't have all these nephews.
right, right.
But Prentice Wells, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Man, brother, life is good, man. Y'all woke up on this side of the dirt this morning, so I can't be doing half bad. You know what I mean? But beyond that, life is good. Got a blessed life, man. And when you got so many nephews around, man, you can't be doing that bad. You know what I mean? So life is good, brother.
I ain't never seen nobody call someone uncle that they didn't care about. So real talk, if that many people out here think that highly of you, man, that's you living right. That means you're doing it right.
Yeah, yeah, nah, I take that seriously in terms of, how I carry myself, how I represent myself in the public eye, so to speak, in one-on-one relationships. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But I try to do the best I can every time I step out the door because, I'm representing myself, representing my family, and also, us as brothers, man, we represent our communities. A lot of times I feel that we aren't judged as individuals, we're judged as a group, which is unfair in and of itself. But, sometimes things are the way they are. So when I have that responsibility of not just representing myself and my family, my community, but the group, then, I just have to try to take it to the best level that I can, my man.
So, Mr. Wells,
Yep.
I don't want to abuse the uncle. We gonna come back to that. But let me tell you the background. Let me tell the listeners how this all came about. So I got a fraternity brother. It don't matter which one the divine now, that'll come out in time. I give them all up. I give them all. Ain't one better than the next. I don't never do nothing like that. We like to pick on each other, but it's all good. I appreciate the brotherhood. So fraternity brother of mine said that I had to come through and be a part of his wedding. So, we get there and we gonna have the bachelor party, and I'm pretty excited about that because I love this brother and I'm excited about that opportunity. And so the night he keeps telling everybody in the party, I'm bringing my uncle. I'm bringing my uncle. I'm
Right.
not gonna lie. No one said it out loud, but we all looking around like, wait, hold on, man. What? Why? What basketball short, dress sock wearing, 4 gold chains and a white beater on uncle are you trying to bring out with us,
Right.
man? That's how we felt. So we
Yep.
out of we all posted up at the spot where we was gonna link up and then go do the nightly activities, and then all of a sudden I know you're older than me, but some young looking cat that looked my age come and sit down at the table with us
Right.
with some slick back cornrows, an amazing blazer, a nice. I saw what
One
you
of
was
my
wearing.
favorite blazers, actually. That's a classic blazer right there. Got that over in Barcelona, Spain, a bunch of years ago. That's one of my favorite blazers, man.
That thing was right. So you had me on the fashion tip. I mean, I was
Right.
giving you the side eye, but I appreciate the flavor you came with. So then we looking like, man, who this dude that sat down with us? Now ain't none of us thuggeroni, but
Right.
it might have crossed our thigh. But you about to get jumped out, bro. You supposed to be at another table.
Right.
So then my fraternity brother takes it a little further to say, yo, this is Unc. And we all looking at each other before we gave you a second look, like, how?
Right.
Is this the uncle that's like a year older than you? Is this the uncle that's younger than you? Why he looks so smooth? This ain't, you were not what we were expecting.
Right.
It was tough. Right? So the night went on, and then we realized this is a cool cat. And I think, if I remember correctly, you spent the entire night with us. You didn't try to try to bow out on us. Like we would have expected an uncle to do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm out there for the long haul, brother. I take it out. I got to bring it back in, baby. You know what I mean? So
you did. So I immediately, man, I was drawn in like within that first hour, and that was over a year. That was almost 2 years ago.
Yep.
So respect to you, man, because I say in life, it's about the impression. It's about who you are. It ain't even about the words you say. And I can't even tell you the first words out your mouth. It's just who you were as a dude.
Right.
And I was just like, yo, this is an awesome guy.
Well, I appreciate that.
We brought that 2 years. And then as I learned more about you, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
This is, am I getting pumped? Like, is this a made up dude?
Right.
He is legit. I see why. And that's how it came about. That was my side of the story, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, that was a great night, man. And shout out to you brothers, man, for holding my nephew down out there. And that brother right there, that young man has come a long way, man. I remember when he first came home from the hospital, you know what I mean? And to go from there to like literally when he first came home from the hospital, I was there, and the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the friendship, the love, the respect, the admiration that you brothers show for one another that night when I met y'all. But as I continued to hang out with y'all that entire weekend, it was a freaking classic weekend, baby. That was an epic weekend. And it just reinforced what I already thought about my nephew. When you can see folks that your people hang around, the friends that they attract, the network and the community that they build, it lets you know that, hey, what little part I had in this brother's life coming up, I did my part, so yeah, I appreciate that. That was a heck of a night right there.
I see what you're saying there, and you're right. We are a collection of those who are our mentors. I mean, look who he was looking up to. I mean, and we're gonna get to it a little bit more in this in this conversation, but I mean, you ain't exactly who would want to fail Uncle Prentice. I mean,
right.
I forgot. Listeners. Now he a cool cat. For those who won't be watching this on YouTube, he's also a good looking man. Why does he have to look good too? Like that's one of the problems. But let me back up. When he said your name, I'm bringing Uncle Prentice. That sound like an old head. That sound like
right.
You gonna show up. You gonna give us the double 6-shooters and watch out now. Watch out there now. It sounds like Uncle Prentice. So can we go back? Where did the name Prentice Wells come from? The first name, I don't think I've ever come across a Prentice before you.
Yep. So here's what's crazy. The first time I ever met someone named Prentice was I found out about a cousin of mine that I had that I never met before, whose name was Prentice.
What?
I still haven't met him to this day, but I see, we on social media and what have you together. And his last name is spelled TISS, where mine is TICE. So there's a little bit of difference there. But the story I like to tell is that you may have heard of a movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Classic.
Yes.
Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, Sidney
Yeah.
Poitier, a few other characters and what have you. Sidney Poitier's character in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner was Dr. Prentice.
No.
Dr. Prentice. Yep. Yep.
Huh.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it in terms of where my name comes from, because it sounds pretty cool, actually. So, when you up there with Sidney Poitier, you can say,
Yes.
your name in the same breath as that brother's name. You know what I mean? So you can't be in bad company with that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it there, Chief.
Well, the culture. I mean, that brother is Black royalty. He
Yeah.
knew it. He carried himself with swagger. He turned down certain
Yep.
roles to
Yep.
preserve the integrity of who he was and what he
Yep.
wanted to project. He said, I
Yep.
can go without that check. Man, Sidney
Yep.
Poitier, man, icon.
Yep. Yep.
So let's go back. Tell us where you're from, brother.
Born and raised in Dayton, Ohio, man. Midwestern boy, got that Midwestern ethic. Come up in a I'd say, middle class family. We wasn't on the higher end of the middle class spectrum, but we wasn't poor either. Great family upbringing, man. And great group of friends, family, network around me. But growing up with the men and the women that I had in my life was without a doubt the biggest influence, positive influence that I've ever had in my life and that I ever will. And that goes back to what I was saying about, how I try to carry myself and that type of thing. It starts there, and it doesn't end there, because I have to continue to carry that mail for the future generations, for the youngsters that are coming up behind me and what have you. So, but yeah, born and raised in Dayton, Ohio, man. And, don't regret 1 minute of it as well. I still have a lot of friends and family back there and Dayton. And I don't get back there as often as I would like to. Unfortunately, a lot of times when you move away from the place that you were born and raised at, and you don't have as many family there as you had in the past or what have you. Sadly, a lot of times when you go back, it's for a less than happy occasion. You know what I mean? I'll say that.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I'm trying to get better at. It's just life is going so fast, man. It's crazy as heck at where I'm at in my life and my maturity. Things the time is just moving so fast, and next thing you know, you look up and wow, it just happened Thanksgiving, or excuse me, Halloween, and once Halloween's hit, it's like 2 weeks later, Christmas is here. So
it's like
yeah.
Hey, we're gonna come back. I'm gonna put a mental note. We're gonna talk Dayton, and we're gonna talk about mentors in your life. But
oh man,
it seems like there is a great opportunity that as soon as Halloween is over, you can get the little jingle bells, and the commercials can have Christmas trees in the background. Because I don't think I've ever noticed it, but I noticed it this week. I'm seeing that. Is it allowed? Are we just gonna blow off Thanksgiving?
Man, that's one of the biggest pet peeves of mine, man. Can we just get to the holidays one by one? You know what I mean? And that's like, first of all, why the hell you got freaking Christmas lights up, in October? Halloween. Yes. I get it. You got Halloween decorations down. Take them joints down, put them back in the box, and let them rest, and then give you a few weeks off or whatever before you start bringing out the Christmas decorations or what have you. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, what all the damn Christmas decorations? Take Christmas decorations being put up, and also Christmas decorations being left up. Why is it March and your Christmas lights is still on? I don't understand that. So so too early and too late, brother. Two pet peeves of mine. But I also say this, okay? I'm a Christmas guy. All right. I love Christmas. And I love Christmas not because of the gifts that I receive, but because of the gifts that I give and the response that I see on the people's faces, man. And especially the kids, whatever, kids, old folks, and folks in between or what have you. That's my gift right there, is to see their response and to see the joy it brings in them, or the surprise, or whatever those emotions are, and just kind of sit back and laugh. And so I don't have to get anything for Christmas. The responses that I get from folks and the looks and the reactions, that's enough Christmas for me right there.
There's two things. I'm coming back to the dating. We're coming back to the mentors. There's two things off of that since you offered that, and that's what we want. I'm gonna tell you the two things for me to
Mm-hmm.
allow you to recall yours. The two best gifts I ever got, and the best gift I ever got, and the best gift I ever gave. So the best
Mm-hmm.
gift I ever got, I was in a bad place in my life. I just got done with basic training, but I couldn't leave to go to the next
Mm-hmm.
place because I was waiting on my security clearance. So I'm a holdover, and they wouldn't let me go do nothing else. And at that time, when you're young, I wanted to do it all. I would have done
Yep.
Ranger, Airborne, Air Assault. You just send me Pathfinder, send me to a school. You can make me a
Yep.
frog man, and I won't that strong of a swimmer, but I would have done any of that at that time.
Right.
But they said, nah, you got to wait right here. We don't want you to get hurt. That's why we ain't sending you to nothing. I'm at a bad point. Just broke up with my fiance. Found out she made a decision without me, and for like the direction of her life without talking that over with me. And
Mm-hmm.
one of my buddies sent me a pair of basketball shoes, Pumas. They were black with the little white Puma stripe. I went and wore them things out. I wore them things out on the outdoor court.
Right.
And I was stuck in Oklahoma. Shouts, I got some friends in Oklahoma, but y'all know. Y'all live there your whole
Right.
life. Y'all know. Y'all ain't getting too much love. I don't care if I offend them right here, Unc. And then the best gift I ever gave Unc was a homie of mine. He's going to be on this podcast, hopefully within the next couple of episodes. I call him the best balling chaplain in all of the Army.
Okay.
He'll take your ankles. He'll probably pray for you at the end, but he's going to put you on your backside. This dude
Pray for your healing. All right.
He is legit. And he was deployed away from his family, just not happy. And I sent him a pair of basketball shoes. Man, the heartfelt reply I got from him on like Messenger, he was just like, man, I appreciate it. This was just an amazing gift at a good time. And you reminded me of what I can do in this situation. He a chaplain. Like,
Right.
Uplifted, and I uplifted him. He didn't ask for that. I just sent it. And it wasn't no special occasion. I just sent it. So now I gotta ask you, because I know how I felt in receiving and how I felt giving. And since Christmas, because that's the big giving year, maybe your birthday. What's the best gift you ever received, and what's the best gift you ever gave?
So does it have to be Christmas?
It does not. It does not.
Okay. So the best gift I've ever received. Wow. Just off the top of my head, I'll tell you. So starter jackets. Starter jackets were huge back in the day, right? Starter jackets were huge. And this was this would have been in 91. I'm dating myself now, but I'm an uncle. So people know I'm right. Anyway,
that's all right. So you a good looking uncle too,
right. I try to hold it down a little bit, brother. I'm like that used car that you clean up. You got to sitting out on out there in front of the house with the for sale sign. You got it cleaned up. You wax it up real nice or whatever. Armor all the tires. Like that's a clean ass car right there, right?
Yeah.
And then you pop the hood on there. You fired it up, and it's like. So I'm that used car, bro. But
we ain't taking the hood on this one. We going on.
Right, no, we're not popping the hood on this one. So may pop the trunk, but that's a different discussion right there. Yeah, exactly. So best gift I ever received, just like I said off the top of my head, was the starter jackets. Man, were huge, like in the early '90s, right? And I was stationed in Germany at the time. This was back in my Air Force days, and I got deployed to the desert doing Desert Shield, and then turned over into Desert Storm or what have you. Yep. So I got and not all of my crew got sent over there. It's probably like half of us did, half of us didn't, right? So went to the desert. We did the Desert Shield thing, we did the Desert Storm thing, or what have you. Came back July 3rd of '91. And when I walked into my room in the barracks, I opened the door there. All my folks was there. Maybe had they had a barbecue going and this and that and everything, and we had beer and this and whatever. Easy Jesus, you know what I'm saying? We had the whole nine out there. And I got my duffel, man. I'm going to my barracks room to drop my stuff or whatever. I open the door, and it's a Cincinnati Reds jacket that's sitting there hung up like where you go hanging on my rack, man, to get where I slept at or what have you. I'm like, where does Red Jacket come from? Yo, P, we got you that, brother, as a welcome home gift.
Yo.
Yeah. And they knew I was a big Cincinnati Reds fan. The Reds that swept the Oakland A's in the World Series the year prior to that, And so they knew I was a big Red Machine guy, right? And it surprised the hell out of me, man. And that was very special to me. That cats would be that thoughtful and think about that and put their money together. And you know how it was been in the military, especially in the 90s, man. You wasn't making a lot of money, so to pull your little money together and to do that was a big deal, man. That was really special to me. And I still got that jacket today. I still got that jacket today. Yep.
That's legit.
Wow. Still got that. And look, it's brand new. Feel like it's brand new. I kept it in great shape, man. That's probably
Help me out with something that you mentioned there. So this was after the Pete Rose years. This before Barry Larkin and before King Griffey came back.
That was before Griffey came back, but it was during the Larkin years. Eric Davis, them cats was playing back then. Yep. Yeah. Chris Sabo was at third base. Yep. So Red October was what they had on the cover of Sports Illustrated at the time.
Yeah. Didn't Eric Davis also, he did the Dion? Wasn't he also a football guy?
Not pro football.
Okay.
Not pro football. But that was ED. I ran into ED out in Scottsdale a few years back. I was out there playing golf or whatever, having to run into him at a lounge spot out there. Yep, still looking good or what have you. And I was like, you just hanging out there at the bar or whatever. I was like, yo, ED, what's up, baby? He was like, hey, what's up, brother? I was like, yeah, brother. I remember when you hit that home run and caught that ball out there in center field there for the Reds to save that game for us against the A's. He got hurt that game too and was out the rest of the World Series. Yep. Wow. Yep. Off of a diving catch. I think he had like a lacerated kidney or something the way he landed on that. But so we connected right there. We was chopping it up the rest of the night. Yep.
That's cool that you got to run into him. Okay. Yeah. So that starter, that actually, I was gonna ask you back in those days. You admit being a Midwest guy. I'm unapologetically East Coast. I'm an Army brat, lived all over, but
okay.
Where you're from during those times, what if somebody rolled through Dayton and they was rocking a UNLV, University of Michigan joint? Did that go over? Because I know Michigan being right next door to Fab Five. I know
right, yeah.
You can't get away with either one of those? You
can get away with a UNLV jacket. Okay. You can get away with that because you just don't know no better, right?
Okay.
But yo, you can't roll through Ohio, baby, especially not southwestern Ohio, where I'm from, Dayton, Ohio, about an hour, 15, 20 minutes away from the shoot. Yes, where the Ohio State Buckeyes play at. You can't roll through there pushing a Michigan, a U of M, freaking maize and crappy blue, whatever, jersey, muck Michigan type of. You can't roll through there like that, man. What
your bias is showing.
Oh yeah, that's big bias, and I'm that's probably the only time I'm biased against something. Is U of M.
Okay.
The Tetons, the team up north. That ain't. Can't do that.
What did they do for the game? What did they do for college ball? None of that. Even decades later, for those who can't see on camera, he pulled back. That sounds like a no. He didn't even say it yet. Nothing.
So I'll say this. What they did for college football was some great rivalries. I mean, Ohio State Michigan rivalry in football is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, rivalry in college football.
I can't wait.
Ooh, it's gonna be, and I tell you what, boy, my Buckeyes and their slow starts on offense, man, will be the freaking death knell of us if we don't start faster. Playing against the better teams. We've been lucky because we haven't been. We beat Notre Dame, we beat Penn State, whatever. We beat ranked teams, but you can't come out against the teams like Michigan and getting in the playoffs and all of that, starting out slow on offense. You got to come correct out the gate.
Harbaugh's been making these last few years with his draft classes. He got talent on talent on talent.
He got some talent too, stealing signs, but I'm not gonna get into all of that. It's not proven. So, man, innocent until proven guilty with an asterisk with the Muck Michigan crowd. You know what I mean? But so I'm not gonna say that because here's my thing: if you caught cheating, Michigan, Ohio State, North Kakalaki, I don't care who you are, you need to suffer the consequences. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment for that until the facts come out. But it wouldn't
Right.
surprise me knowing the character of Michigan Wolverines football and and the Jim Harbaughs of the world, knowing that character, that it wouldn't surprise me if those allegations were true. But I'm gonna reserve my judgment.
So let's go to the best gift you ever gave, because that was a doozy right there.
Ooh,
I'm
wee.
feeling that jacket, man. That was
The
awesome.
best gift I ever gave.
And,
Hmm. Oh,
and I'm basing it off of like the person's reaction or how you felt when you gave
yep.
it, not a dollar
So
amount or anything.
the best gift I ever gave was it was what, 2 years ago, two Christmases ago, or was it last Christmas? Well, it was 2 Christmases ago, but it continued last Christmas as well. So
Yeah,
the wife and I sitting at home, during the holiday season. I'll say I don't know exactly when it was, but it was after Thanksgiving. Um, Watching the local news one night, and they were talking about the local food banks and how they were low on turkeys and hams and this, that, and what have you. And so I saw that, and I was like, you know what, baby, we need to do something about that. You know, and my wife and I, man, we blessed, we worked together, man, over the years to, kind of, do well as, and what we do and our little craft and what have you. And, we got to the point where we got a few resources and what have you. And when I
yeah,
saw that article, I said, you know what? We got to try to, erase some of this deficit in turkeys and hams and stuff at these food banks, right? So I got got up the truck, man, got in the truck, and I just went around the grocery stores and bought as many turkeys and hams as I could.
what?
And they, some places they only sell you like two at a time or something like that, right? So I get two or something, but I see somebody like at the counter or like at the local grocery stores, you regular over there, know you, what have you. You say, hey, so and so, hey, I saw this thing on local news about low on turkeys and hams or what have you. I know you're only allowed to get two turkeys, two hams, but let me buy a bunch of these because I want to take them to the food
Yeah,
banks, right?
yeah.
So I did that to the local grocery stores here. So I bought the first load was, I think, 20 turkeys and 20 hams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I dropped them off at the Second Harvest Food Bank there in San Jose. And then
Yeah,
the next day, I went and hit the some other grocery stores in the San Jose area and did the same thing. And I took another 25. I think I try to get the same amount. If I get 20 turkeys, I get 20 hams or what have you. I think it was 25 turkeys and 25 more hams that I took them to this other place. I think it may have been St. Vincent, or I can't remember the other one. It was a place that I do some community service 3-4
yeah,
times a year with my firm. And I
yeah.
work at different, food banks and this, that, and what have you. But I thought about this other place, and I took another load of turkeys and hams over there. And I didn't get to see well, so when I dropped them off at Second Harvest, I just pulled up. I went up front there, say, hey, I got a load of turkeys and stuff here, whatever, you drop off. Okay, we'll go around there to the dock. So I found a dude working out there, and I told him what was going on. He said, all right, yeah, we'll pull up to this loading dock here, and I'll grab the dolly and whatever and unload the things for you. So back to ride up, he started unloading. He said, go over to that office there, and they give you the paperwork, the receipt for your donation or whatever. All right, cool. I'll go to the office there, and as I'm walking here, I hear a lady on the phone or what have you, and another guy talking was like, yeah, we just got a bunch of turkeys and hams that came in out of the blue. So we're going to get them on the truck and we'll get them out there to the church, as quickly as possible. Those were the turkeys and the hams that I took over there at Second Harvest. So I didn't get to see the reaction on the folks' faces that received the turkeys and ham. I didn't need to see the response because I know what the response was.
Yeah.
I know what the response would have been if I was in that situation and getting close to Christmas, and you're unable to put food on the table or celebrate a holiday or what have you. But
Yes.
so that was like 2 years ago, and I did that last year, and will continue to do that until I can't do it anymore, because I know that is making someone's life better. Is it changing their entire life? You never know. Hey, maybe it is, but at least for a couple of days, if you can have some joy in your life, and you able to give your kids a good meal and what have you, then I've done my job, man, and I didn't need any. I didn't need a receipt. I don't even know if I even deducted that from, taxes or what have you, because at the end of the day, it's just a drop in the bucket in terms of what those folks need. So if, make a difference in a person's life for a couple of days, a year, or whatever, then hey, then I'm all with that. So that's my best gift I receive and the best gift that I've given.
Yeah, I know that feeling. My fraternity, we do. This is the second city I've been in now that what we do is we give out turkeys like that to families. And man, to say what you're saying, to participate in that, I guess I don't even feel like that is mine. But man, yeah, I may change my answer here going forward, because those families.
Man,
looking them in the eye when you hand that over, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal feeling. I didn't come from, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and there were some Christmases where I didn't get gifts. Now I never went to bed hungry.
Right. We
got food, but yeah, there were a lot of birthdays. And a lot of you knew you weren't getting nothing. So that happens, but that's amazing. Look, for our listeners, we bring it back. Unc, I got two last questions before I get you out of here.
Okay.
So I always ask everybody, who is the most interesting person in your life that you know? Because I believe in the 6 degrees of separation. And what will you do to help me get that person on this podcast?
Ooh-wee. So
you only get one.
The most interesting person in my life, and I've met a lot of different people, man, like in my family, male, female, all around the world. But I always, when I'm asked questions, something like that, I always go to my Uncle Nathan.
Wait,
my Uncle Nathan.
Is recommending his uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready for this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Man. I'm ready for this.
So Uncle Nathan is let me see, I think he's probably 90, 91 now. He's like my great uncle. Raised in the Jim Crow South in Memphis, Tennessee. Think maybe 20, almost 30 years in the military, active duty Air Force, Vietnam veteran, Korean War veteran, Purple Heart recipient. And one of the biggest influences in my life, without a doubt. I always say this, man, when it comes to like the influences in my life and my role models, especially on the men's side. First and foremost, the men in my family. Those are my biggest role models or what have you. There's only one man that's outside of my family that is a role model. In addition to my only role models, man, are my family members, my brothers, my uncles, and what have you that I came up with. The only person outside of that circle, man, Muhammad Ali. The only person outside of that circle, man, Muhammad Ali, that could raise to the level of the positive male role models that I had in my life and my family. Muhammad Ali. Yep. So
one of the biggest regrets is the fact that he had to step away from his title because of his views on the Vietnam War. When we look back on that, he was ahead of his time, and we should be embarrassed about that.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, like my Muhammad Ali and my family is my Uncle Nathan. So I mean, he's the family genealogist as well. He's traced our family's roots, man, back to slavery times with a guy named Sam Savage, and I got the paperwork. Come on here before. I'll show you the paperwork. I got pictures of the stuff that he's gotten from the actual census records, the first census that was taken after Reconstruction, or during Reconstruction, or post-slavery. Samuel Savage was in that census survey that was taken, and he was 100 years old at the time when the survey was taken.
What?
Yeah, and I often ask myself, because I don't think my uncle found this out or not, but was he born into slavery and was in slavery 100 years, or was he born a free man in Africa or wherever and was thrust into slavery? Is the question that I have. But the knowledge, man, that I gained from Uncle Nathan over the years, man, he was like one of the biggest reasons why I like to travel and why I've always thought that the art of the possible for me was something that I could achieve in terms of my dreams and hopes and things that I wanted to be, was because two things. Mama made us read a lot, you
Yeah.
know. You had weekly reader and you got the books in, and I remember books. There was one book in particular that I remember. I have a remake of this, a copy of this book that I bought at the local Goodwill store a few years ago. But a book called Stories from Around the World, and it
Yeah.
has stories like Romulus and Remus, the Emperor's New Clothes. Um, wow, I can't remember some of the names of the stories, but um, when I read a lot and stuff, my imagination would take me to different places or what have you around the world. Little kids got the most craziest imaginations. They can think that they're actually somewhere and they be right there in their little playroom, but that in their minds they off on the moon or in space or
Yeah.
wherever, or some far off land. So just as a little kid, I had those types of influences as well. But the difference maker for me is that my uncles, like Uncle Nathan, when they came home from the military and they talked to me, bring little trinkets and pictures and stuff from when he was over in Korea and Vietnam and Japan and this and that. And some of these pictures of these artifacts that he had or what have you, I look at these things, I say, oh, shoot, that's the same thing I saw in that book that I was reading. So it made me realize that the things that I was reading and my imagination was taking me away, brother, that I could actually do these things, man, because I saw the examples of my uncles and them doing that.
Yes.
And so when he would come home, he, like I said, he'd bring stuff for mama and for the ladies or what have you. You always get stuff for your moms, your aunties, this and that, what have you. But he brings stuff for the little cats too. You know what I mean? Some little whatever. And and he always take me to the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. That's where the National Air Force Museum is at, is in Dayton, Ohio, or Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Okay. Did not
And
know that.
yep. So I used to spend a lot of time with him, and he used to tutor us and stuff. I remember he used to tutor me. This was after he had retired and he moved to Dayton. He used to tutor us. I remember I wasn't good. I wasn't that good in algebra. I was pretty crappy, actually, probably because I was lazy. I'm still functionally lazy, but I've been able to deal with that. But anyway, I remember one time I was getting tutored, and my boy Hank was there, right? And something happened. His mom found out, and I was over his house one day, and Prentice, I heard your uncle was tutoring you at the house on algebra. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Grant. He tutoring me over there. He's like, yeah, that's good. Hank, you need to go over there and get tutored with Prentice. Oh, Mama, I don't need to go over there. It's like, no, you're going over there and get tutored with Prentice. You think your uncle would tutor you? Oh, yeah, he'll tutor him. He gonna laugh at me. So, and to this day, man, my man HG always ask about Uncle Nathan, man. He always ask about Unc, you know what I mean? So that was my Unc, where, when we opened this up, we were talking about, everybody's uncle or what have you. That was my Unc, dude. It was Uncle Nathan, just from the respect of who he was as a man and the way he carried himself and the stories that he would tell us. And he not just the stories of his military travels, but he also told us stories of growing up in the Jim Crow South and the things that they had to do as kids, and the humiliation and the oppression and the challenges that they had to deal with during that time. So it was kind of a mixture of, funny stories from him in the military and him taking me under his wing and, to the Air Force Museum and stuff like that, but sitting us down and telling these stories about how it was growing up in the Jim Crow South. And one of the biggest chips I carry on my shoulder right now, brother, is looking back at Uncle Nathan and my grandparents and other relatives and ancestors. I spent a lot of time in my life in Memphis, Tennessee, because that's where my family comes from, right? But one of the chips I carry on my shoulder is that seeing what folks made of themselves and what they were able to achieve in their lives as individuals, having grown up in the Jim Crow South and dealing with all of the trauma and the PTSD and I could tell you some stories about different things, man, that I've heard that would just to this day make me misty listening to and telling those stories or what have you. Yeah. But one of my biggest motivators, one of my biggest chips that I've carried on my shoulder is knowing that, you know what, if these brothers and sisters can achieve certain things and for themselves and for their families, and having gone through what they went through and raised in the environment they were raised in. I don't have to deal with all that. We
Nah.
got to deal with our form of it today, but we ain't dealing with the Jim Crow South type of stuff now. There's folks that's trying to take it back, and I'm not going to get into all that right now. That's for future discussions.
Yeah.
But if they can achieve those things, then I don't have any excuse, man. I have
Yeah.
zero excuses. Because yeah, I mean, I'll tell you one story. My grandmother,
Yeah.
mama, girl growing up, you know, it wasn't a lot of opportunities for black folks, but you could become a nurse, you could become a school teacher, you could become a mortician. There are other things that you could become. The more I'd say dynamic the position that you were trying to achieve, the tougher it was to achieve it, to be an engineer, an architect. My nephew is an engineer now, you know, on the
Yes.
backs of those that came before us and what have you.
Yeah.
But as a young girl growing up and stuff, and a lot of girls today, man, young women today, you know, having dreams of becoming a nurse, right?
Yeah.
And she was good in school, and she got the grades and things like that that she needed to qualify for this nursing program. And nursing program, ultimately, if she was accepted and what have you, she would have been able to go to Chicago and leave Memphis and go to school and training and stuff up there. Would have changed their life. You just can imagine how that would have changed their life. So filled out the application and everything, and got some good news back. Got some good news back, man. Got accepted to the program. You know, like wow, got accepted to the program. So other information was coming in, and information that came in. Got a like a registration and orientation day or whatever it was, right? To
Yeah.
go down, fill out your paperwork for the program, and you know, tell you the details, the ins and outs, and blah blah blah, and you know, head off eventually to Chicago and start your training or what have you. Well, Mama, she got down to the you know, the place where she was supposed to go to school or wherever this was at, where she was supposed to go to, you know, sign up and do the orientation and all that, and got up there and, hey, you know, I'm here for the program and blah blah. Oh, gal, you can't be in this program. This ain't program in for Negroes.
What?
Yep. Yep. And telling you that story now, brother, it breaks my heart telling that story right now, because you can imagine a young person that has worked to achieve certain things and that actually did achieve what they needed to achieve to be a part of this program,
Yes.
to have gotten down there and to be turned away for nothing other than your color.
Yes.
You can imagine the impact that had on her. And to the day that she passed away, and I was there when it happened, I believe that was always an empty place in her heart, an empty place in her life that could never be filled, even though she had a beautiful family, a beautiful life, you know,
Yeah.
achieved a lot and what have you. There's some personal, you know, things that you want to achieve as well. And I believe that was probably something that she, you know, was probably sad about her entire life, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that I go back to what I was saying before about I have zero excuses
Yes.
about being able to go out here and try to, you know, get my hustle on or what have you, and try to achieve something, because I didn't have to go through that. We didn't have to go through that. We have things we have to deal with today, but there's very slim chance that you will show up somewhere and have been approved for something and will be turned away now because of your color. Does it still happen? I would venture to say it probably does. We just don't hear about it. Maybe we do. It's a local story or what have you. But yeah, man, that and that's just one story, dude. I could sit here and we could do a whole podcast talking about those types of stories of lessons that I learned from my ancestors and what have you. So, you know, I will try. It may be tough to get Uncle Nathan here on the podcast, man. But I tell you something, if I'm able to do that, bruh, because he's like 90, 91, 92 or what have you, but he talks like you and I are talking now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And I promise you,
Yep.
I will make it fun, And for your family, who's been nothing but amazing for me, for your family, that'll be archival footage. I mean, we putting that stuff on wax for all time. For those who may not even have heard it, for the younger generation. So now I'm excited. So yes, do what you can. Let him know if it's got to be something as easy as a phone call. If he feels that it's comfortable, if there's someone in his circle that can't really help him, whatever way we could do it, I would love it.
Yeah, I think it would be actually a pretty cool experience, man, to try to do that. Because, man, just an amazing guy, man. Wow.
And with a life that lush, if I can make it good, if my journalistic skills are what I think they are, I can maybe get a part 1, a part 2, part 3, because I can't cut that off. You took me down too many paths. I mean, there's like part 1 is Memphis.
Yeah. No, man,
military. You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean,
who he is and the impact he had on his family and how he views the family it sounds like he's the patriarch at this point.
In some regards, he is, because I mean, hey, as folks get older, man, the ancestors, continue to move on, you know what I mean, and become a part of our history, So I would venture to say, I could tell you a whole lot of stories. He could tell you a whole lot of stuff. I could tell you a whole lot of stories. He can tell you 10 times what I can tell you.
I'm gonna tell you this. I hope this doesn't sound in a bad way, but for my listeners, how many brothers you met that are in their 90s?
Right.
I'm talking life expectancy, and it sounds like you come from a good line of some long living brothers. So kudos to you. # amazing gene.
Right.
But hey, if y'all got people that's putting up them type of numbers.
I just hope I can get get along a runway like that myself, Chief. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see.
So my last question before we get out, I want to know what you listening to right now? Like what when you carving them canyons, when you out there in the whip, what you listening to? What's in rotation?
Yo, man, I'm an old school cat by heart, right? I'm an old school hip hop cat. You know what I mean? An old school R&B. I listen to a lot of that. I got different playlists and what have you. And we know the classics, the biggies, the Fushnikins of the world, the Fugees and the PEs. And, I can go into a long list of R&B and this and that. But I tell you what, though, there's a brother that I have been listening to. I heard him on like XM radio a few weeks ago. And I could have swear up and down it was a Marvin Gaye song, October London. Have you heard of that, brother?
It doesn't sound familiar.
October London is this brother. I heard this song playing. I was like, I never heard this Marvin Gaye song. It's a cat named October London. Look this brother up, man. Yo, you will think that you're listening to Marvin Gaye. Like if you close your eyes and just listen to the music, you think that you're listening to Marvin Gaye, man. This brother got an incredible voice. So when I'm saying that, here's the thing too, man. Cats, you don't buy albums and CDs and stuff like you used to. You getting downloads, you getting streams. You listen to individual stuff. You used to be back in the day, man. When I came up, I'm dating myself with this, but again, I'm an uncle. I can say this, where your playlist was a stack of 45s that you put on the turntable, and you had to think carefully about that. You know what I mean? Or you had that album that you put on the night I fell in love, that Luther Vandross, you let it play front back all the way through. You didn't have to, that song ain't no good. You got to go to the next song. Nah, you just let it flow, baby. You just let it flow. A lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff I come up with. You just let it flow, baby. So that's the type of stuff I came up on, man. So it's tough to, I ain't hating on the acts of the day. You know what I mean? Because they got talent, they got skills, they got art. But for where I'm at and the vibe I'm trying to have and what have you, is just not working for me. I guess individual songs and what have you that I listen to, but it's a whole lot of monotone. There's a
Yes,
whole
sir.
lot of that going on, man. A
Yes,
whole
sir.
lot of wow, so
Yes.
I need to hear some singing, bro. I need to hear some singing. You know what I mean? That's so. Again, I ain't hating on the acts that out here. Cats got talent. They making their money. Ladies got talent. They making their money. I ain't hating. I'm congratulating. But for me
Yeah.
and my choice and where I'm at, I'm in something a little bit more smooth and mellow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like it. Hey, I appreciate you coming on
Yep.
and letting it flow. This was amazing. I knew what I was gonna get before we even got it, and now when I walk away, I'm saying I would have paid twice for this.
All right. All right. Well, but no, man, it was a good
Value.
experience too, man.
I feel
Yep.
like I got that value.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna tell you something too, brother. I appreciate you as well, because when I met you that first night when you went back, the bachelor party or what have you, I knew you was a quality brother. Leading up to that, I knew you was a quality brother because you was hitting me up, trying to, let me know the details of what was going on for bachelor party, where we hooking up at, and all of
Yes,
these
sir.
different things. And I knew you was a cool brother from that. But when I got to meet you and we got to chit chat and what have you, and like I said, I saw the brothers around, the frat brothers and what have you, man, the way y'all, hung with my nephew and this and that, it's always cool when you can see your folks that's gone out in the world, the youngsters behind you, and the relationships. But most of the time, it's cool
Yes.
to see the
Yes.
relationships that they built. There's
Yeah.
other times when it's not, but in these
Yes.
times that I'm referring to, it was excellent. That because just a bunch of positive brothers around, man. And, everybody out there ain't no static and this and that, no beef or what have you. It's one love. Folks was just getting together, doing their thing, and made me feel like, yo, I felt like a part of the crew, man. I felt like K.A. Psy. I was like, what the heck?
He died.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I appreciate you, man, and what you brought to my life and what you brothers brought to my life and to my nephew's life as well, man. So this is the first one, but it won't be the last.
And I'm looking forward to it. Everybody, like, subscribe, follow. We will have quality content like this. You know the man now, and I know y'all gonna want him
West
back.
Side, baby, West Side.
Prentice Wells, the pride of Dayton, Ohio.
P
Thanks,
Funk. You're welcome,
appreciate
my
you.
brother.